Hello everyone, and welcome to this Eagle Pose mini practice. Eagle Pose or Garudasana is a pose that looks like this. It's a wonderful balancing posture, and as such has all the strengthening and stabilizing benefits that come from standing on one leg. And it's also a really unusual pose where both the arms and the legs are crossed in front of the body. The upper body work in this pose always brings a lot of relief to my neck and my shoulders, so you might notice how our practice feels in your upper back, and particularly the top ridge here of the shoulders that tends to get tight on many of us. It's a great pose to relieve tension in that area. And of course, the balancing component makes it a great pose to cultivate one-pointed focus and a sense of presence. So we'll begin on all fours. Place your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And begin circling your hips in one direction. Allow your breath to be smooth and even. And you can allow that circling movement, that rolling movement to come up into the spine, shoulders, knees, hips. You can make it as big as you'd like. Rolling and circling the hips, spine, torso. And then coming back to a neutral position, begin to go in the other direction, circling the hips. And bringing that movement into the spine, shoulders, knees, and wrists as you'd like. And then come back to a neutral position. Bring your left knee into the middle between your two knees and take your right knee behind your left knee. Now, bring your shins as close together as you can and possibly lift your left toes up and cross your left toes behind your right ankle. This is mimicking the Garudasana leg position. So you can either keep the leg on the floor or tuck the toes behind, and then just make a little bit of circling movements here as well. In one direction and then the other, forward, back, side to side. Okay, release. Change sides. Bring your right knee into the middle. Cross your left knee over. Bring your shins close together. Possibly lift your right foot up. Tuck it behind the left shin. Or keep the right shin on the floor. Go back and forth, circling in one direction and then the other. Okay, and then coming back onto all fours, curl your toes under and come on up to standing. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work, more work on the legs first, the Garudasana legs. And any of these versions can be done with your hips at the wall if you'd like a little bit more support. So stand with your feet together, bend your knees, take your hands to your hips, lift your right foot up, cross it over your left, touch your toes to the floor. That's the easiest version of eagle legs. Just touching the toe to the floor, it takes the balance component out of it. And again, hips to the wall will give you a little bit more support. So let's do that to the other side. Bend your knees, cross your left leg over your right, possibly touch the floor. And then back to center. Now take a block. For some people, it's not so easy to touch the toes to the floor because of the shape of the leg, so we can use the toes on a block. Bend your knees, cross your right leg over your left, and take your toe right on that block. This helps you also keep the hips a little bit more even right to left. And then release. Take the block to the other side. Bend your knees, cross over, rest your toes on the block. Okay, so we'll go back to the first side again. So those are two options for the legs in Garudasana. And you can also use them both as jumping off points to go to the full form in the legs. So we'll do that now. So bend your knees, cross your right leg over your left, keep your bottom leg bent. Don't try to straighten it, keep it well bent, that will help, like when you were on all fours. So from here you can play with the balance, play with tucking your right toes behind your left shin, keeping that left leg bent. Good, and release. Second side. Bend your knees well, keep your right leg bent, cross your left leg over, start on the block if it's helpful, and play with hooking the toes. And you can also play with the balance, but not hooking the toes behind the shin. Of course, you can just keep the toes on the outer shin like so. Okay, and release. So those are some ways to work the leg position. Now, let's move to the upper body. We're going to do just a couple of little stretches here. So first, a stretch for the side of the neck and the top ridge of the trapezius there. So take your left hand to your right collarbone and just pull the skin down a little bit there. And now bring your left ear toward your left shoulder. So you're feeling a stretch along the whole right side of your neck. Look down slightly, bring it into the back of the neck. And then look up just a little bit, take your head just slightly back. And then slowly bring your head back to center and change sides. Take your right hand to your left collarbone, gently draw the skin of the left collarbone down as you lower your right ear towards your right shoulder. Breathe into the stretch in your left chest and upper back. Gently look down, bringing the stretch into the back of the neck, and then look up a little bit, taking the head back. Good, and then very gently release. Stretch for the back of the arms. Take your right arm, cross it over the body. Take your left arm under and just give a little tug there, stretching the tricep, back of the arm. Breathe here. You might feel this even into the upper back, the muscles between the shoulder blades. It's all good warm up for Garudasana. Second side, cross your left arm over your body and use your right arm to pull and stretch. Okay, and release. So a couple of versions of Garudasana arms. The first one is a self-hug. So hug yourself with your arms. Just get what you can. Hold around the outer part of your shoulder blades and gently pull apart to make it a little bit deeper, as if you're pushing your shoulders into your hands or widening your shoulders toward opposite sides of the room. Broaden across the upper back. You also want to think about widening from the base of the neck out through the tops of the arms. Good, change sides. Grab onto what you can and pull apart. Pressing your shoulders away from each other. Okay, and release. Roll your shoulders a little bit, up and back, up and back, up and back. Grab a strap for the next version. So we're going to take the right arm under and the left arm over. Actually, I'm going to mirror you. So hug yourself. Right arm under, left arm over, and get as deep across of the elbows as you can. Keep that. And now, you can bridge the distance of your hands by holding a bell. It gives you something to work against. So this can be a great way to work the upper body and the arms in Garudasana. Just tug on a belt like that. Okay, change sides. Hug yourself with your right arm on top, left arm under. Keep the hook of the elbows as best you can, and then grab onto a belt. and pull apart on the belt. Same idea, broaden the upper back, widen the shoulder blades away from each other. Okay, and then release. Okay, now we'll do more of the full arms. So right arm under, left arm over. Keep that cross of the elbows and release. So if you can get a hook, maybe of the hand, so the thumb like this, or a couple fingers, or the full pose is the palms touching. And then you can widen your forearms away from your shoulders to get a little bit deeper and broaden across the upper back. Okay, and release. Change sides, left arm under, right arm over. Start with the self-hug. And then you can keep working the belt if that works better for you. You can touch part of your hands or your palms. Just take it a little bit deeper. Extend your forearms away from your face. Broaden across the upper back. Okay, release. Roll your shoulders a little bit, up and back, up and back, up and back. So we're gonna go for the full pose now. We're gonna do right arm under, right leg over. So bend your knees, take your arms out to the sides to begin here, or you can always keep starting in the self-hug if you'd like. So bend your knees and go for it. Right arm under, right leg over. You can use the block, you can use your hips to the wall, steady your gaze, broaden across the back. Steady breath. Inhale to release. Exhale, back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Okay, second side, take your arms out to your sides. Left leg over, left arm under. Breathe here, broaden across the back. Remember, this is eagle pose, so it's that big bird back. Lots of freedom and lightness in the back body. Broaden the shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale to release. Exhale, back to Tadasana. Let's do that one more time to each side. Bend your knees. Cross, right leg over, right arm under. Broaden across the back. Widen the arm bones away from your neck, broadening there. Inhale. Exhale, back to Tadasana. And last time, left leg over, left arm under. Steady gaze. Broaden the back body. Inhale, release. Exhale, back to Tadasana. So those are some ways to work toward eagle pose. Thanks for joining me, and I wish you a wonderful day.